Hello, this tutorial is about the revenues and the raw materials page. But first, let's look at the input logics. The assumptions pages are organized by a logic of forecasting. One of the first things anyone usually does when forecasting a project or company is to look at its revenues and then at its costs. That is normal because that brings the answer to the first big questions. How much will it sell? How much will it cost? Does it have a positive gross margin or a negative one? So, our suggestion is for you to follow the logic of the input pages. Start with revenues and then follow on to the costs and then to the items related to investment and finally financing. So, back to the revenues, raw materials and consumables. When you enter the page, you are displayed a list of the revenue items. Since we are starting out our forecasting, there is not any item yet. To add a sale or service, click Add, which will open a new page. If in the project settings you have set up the input of the raw materials and consumables as a percentage of sales, this is the screen that you will see. Let's create the first burger for Yummy Mega Tasty Burger. You need to input the name of the product, so let's call it cheeseburger. Then, the quantities that you estimate to sell per year. Let's say that you estimate to sell 18,250 units per year. And now let's assume the pricing. Remember, this is the real price. You do not need to add inflation, because inflation was already assigned on the version settings. Let's assume the price of the cheeseburger is 8 euros. The VAT, as you can see, has already been pre-inserted, as it is based on the general VAT rate that you entered on the project settings. You can edit the VAT rate for any particular product, but for this purpose, let's keep it as it is. As for the raw materials and consumables, these are assumed to be a percentage of the revenue. So let's assume in this example that it is at a 25% rate, which will decrease to 20% after the third year. Finally, you have the VAT rate of the raw materials and consumables. It is again pre-filled for you and you can change it. Once you are done, just click on Save. You will be directed to the products and service listing. The cheeseburger is already there. Just 2 quick tips. 1. If you want to quickly add a product or service which is quite similar to previous one, you can duplicate it. Just press the duplicate button. A new product will appear with the same features. You should immediately change the name to keep track of what is what. Tip 2. You can use the observations field to write something that may help you remember what you are editing. If after some time you want to go back to it, it may help you trace back your initial thoughts. And that is it. Thank you for watching.